Hello Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for December. So sorry they're late. Let's have a look what we have for you. So the very first card I have as your underlying energy is the Four of Cups. Okay, so this is a sense of feeling stuck. So you may have started this month, and this reading applies from whenever you see it, right? For December. I did say December, right? So the Four of Cups is a card of feeling stuck, of apathy, of, looking at the options that are before you, looking at whatever's before you, whatever the situation is, and it's just more of the same. It's nothing that really excites you. It all looks the same, right? And you can see this person's kind of like got his arms crossed, his legs crossed, and he's like, no. You don't need to know body language to know that he's not really interested. He's like, what is this? Like, it's just more of the same. What he doesn't see, because he's so focused on what's in front of him, is this fourth cup that's coming in. And that cup to me is always like the Ace of Cups. It's a new chance at happiness, love, emotional growth, spiritual growth, it's even healing. It's a new cycle that's coming in, but he doesn't see it because he's focused on this. So there may be a sense that you're feeling kind of stuck, that you don't know. Now, the Four of Cups can sometimes indicate something that we've kind of given up on. Like the reason he doesn't see that fourth cup is because he's kind of given up on that fourth cup ever coming in. So he's trying to make this work for him. He's like, okay, well, if I only have these three cups to work with, which one do I want? But the fourth cup is coming in. So sometimes this can represent something that we kind of have almost given up hope on. This apathy, right? We don't think we're going to get it, but it can show that it's coming in. But we'll see how that plays out in the rest of your spread. At the heart of your reading, and the card that comes up at the heart of your reading, it's all about what your focus is. What does everything revolve around at the moment? We have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups may represent a water sign, so that would be Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces. So this may be your energy, this may be where you are. It's a general reading, so any of the energies can apply to you or someone who's very central to your story at this time. The King of Cups, he has mastery over his suit. So he has mastery over his emotions. That's what cups represent. It's water energy. What I always say about this guy is that still waters run deep with him. What you see is not always what you get. Yes, he's very aware of his emotions. He's loving, he's caring, he's nurturing. He's very aware of how he feels, but he doesn't always show it. Unlike the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, she usually has her cup kind of held out, ready to offer it to someone. He kind of holds on to it. So he can be kind of holding on to how he's feeling, not really showing how he's feeling. That may be you. That may be you at this time that, you know what's going to make you happy, or there's someone that you have feelings for. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This is work for you. You kind of know what's going to make you happy, but you're playing your cards very close to your chest and you're not really revealing how you feel. But you yourself would be aware of how you feel. It's the King of Cups. He knows how he feels. He will eventually say it, and when he does express how he feels, he's very open about saying, he'll say that I love you, he'll say that I care about you, and all of that stuff, and this is what makes me happy. But, here at the heart of your reading, this could be someone who's not saying exactly how they feel at this time, because they're still playing their cards very close to their chest. And the card that comes up as a past energy for you, the foundation of this reading, kind of suggests that too. We have the Hermit here. So the Hermit, it is the card for Virgo, so there could be a Virgo that some of you are dealing with. And that placement can be anywhere. Even with that King of Cups energy, even if it's someone else, those water placements can be anywhere. It's always the energy of the cards that we look at. And the Hermit indicates a time of reflection, of taking a step back, going within to look for answers. The Hermit it's a very empowering card. I think oftentimes it's not fully kind of... we don't say exactly how empowering this card is, because what the card says is every answer lies within. Any answer that he's looking for, it's within him. Even though he's on this cliff, even though he's walked up all these steps to get up here, he's not really looking anywhere. He's looking back down, or he's kind of reflecting, he's kind of thinking, he's pondering, right? So the answers lie within him. Now, this coming up as a past energy can show someone that's retreated, someone that took a step back to go and reflect. Could be you. You did that, right? Because you thought, I need to think about what I'm doing here. And look at all these cards. I mean, all of them say the same thing, really. The top three. This guy's pondering, looking at what his options are, because he doesn't think the fourth cup's coming in. This guy now knows how he feels. Maybe he knows how he feels because he's done the Hermit stage. He knows how he feels, but, he may not be revealing it yet. But yeah, the Hermit does say, as a past energy, this is having looked within. It's a very spiritual card. It can talk about meditation, reflection, going inward. It doesn't always show being alone. It can be seen as a very lonely card, like being alone. And yeah, we can retreat, but we can do that in a relationship, right? Ever felt that, your partner kind of just withdraws, or you withdraw a little bit because you're going within to see, how does this really make me feel? With that King of Cups sat at the heart of the reading, it does feel like whoever's been doing this reflection, whoever's taken that step back to go and, to take another look at what's going on or how they're feeling, that they've found the answers, because the King of Cups is coming up at the heart of the reading. And the card that comes up in the present kind of backs that up as well. We have the Sun coming up as a present energy. Now the Sun, yes, it's seen as one of the best cards in the tarot, but none of the cards are all good and all bad. The thing that the Sun says is illumination. There's illumination now. Everything is revealed to us. The example I always give is, if you go out into your garden at, when it's noon and the sun's high, you can see every blade of grass without even trying, right? Everything's just revealed. Every corner of that garden is lit up. So for some of you, that's going to be a very happy feeling, because, all of a sudden now everything's revealed. Whatever, think about it. If the sun's there, if everything gets revealed, then the fourth cup gets revealed, right? In the Four of Cups. So everything gets revealed now. Even with that King of Cups, if it's been you, Cancer, be prepared then for your feelings to come out now, to be shown, or if it's someone else that you've been dealing with. The Sun would reveal this. Nothing would be hidden when the Sun card shows up. It is what it does speak about, the Sun card. It's the potential for great happiness, because now we can see everything that we have to work with. We can see all the parts, all the moving parts in this contraption that is life, and we know what to do with it. We know what's going to happen, and we see the potential. We see the potential that comes from that. Now that can obviously be in any situation. I'm kind of going more towards the kind of romantic angle because it's the King of Cups. But that's your energy, like I said. So this could be if you've been trying to figure out what to do with work, if you've been trying to figure out what to do with a family member or a family situation. But the Sun coming up here, everything gets revealed, and you now see the potential. You now see where it can go, a positive direction. This is a very positive energy. And where is it that it leads? Well, the card that we have coming up in the future is the Ace of Pentacles. I think Taurus got this as their underlying energy. So this is a new cycle that begins, right? So if we have that Ace of Cups that's being presented in the Four of Cups, this is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Pentacles are those things that are tangible. And they are value to us, and they offer us stability and security. That's why Pentacles always represent things like houses, investments, money, even relationships. And I say this every time this card comes up. I love relationships that begin with the Ace of Pentacles, because it's a slow building energy. It's earth energy, right? But it's like every brick in that foundation is laid properly. That's why anything that begins with the Ace of Pentacles, it usually has the potential to stand the test of time. Now, this can indicate, yet, like I said, a new start in a relationship, a new stable cycle that begins. And it begins because of the King of Cups, right? Because he's sat above this. So it's like now, once it's revealed how this person feels, if they say how they feel, someone who's very emotionally mature, emotionally secure even, they can now step forward. And it may be you. Once you kind of fully realize how you feel, fully realize what your feelings are, you're able to go forward. And this is a pentacle that's being presented, right? So it can be commitment that's being offered to someone, but it's the initial stages. It is just an ace. That's the beginning of the cycle. Now, if it's not romance, this can be with that King of Cups, you realizing what it is that makes you happy. And then you're able, like, a new way of making money. Some of you may be starting a new career, a new, a house move, something tangible that offers you that stability, that security. But it is a new cycle, and it's a wonderful energy. I love this when the Ace of Pentacles shows up, because it is a very stable, strong beginning, where, especially with that Sun card coming before it, we see the potential here. We see, even if we're not there yet, it's just the beginning of the cycle, we see where it can go. We see that it's long-term happiness that it can bring us. So what's the advice that's coming up for you, Cancer? Like, what is it that you're being shown is the kind of route or the way to your goals, your aims, your ambitions? Well, you have the Hierophant coming up as your crowning energy. And the Hierophant, this is the card for Taurus. So you have that Hermit coming up above this, which is Virgo. So there's earth energy coming up for some of you. it kind of feels like that's what this reflection was about, right? Maybe like when the King of Cups comes up, why do any of us, forget the King of Cups, but why is it that any of us, when we know how we feel, when we know we love someone, why is it that we just don't go out and say, oh, I love you, or, you know, I love this job, I'm going to go for it? Because when we have that emotion, when we have that dream that we want to go for, it's frightening. We don't want to lose it. We don't want to, risk our dream or risk that to feel vulnerable. So it makes us feel vulnerable sometimes, but he doesn't feel vulnerable. So when you get to the King of Cups stage, you're certain in how you feel. And with that Sun there, you kind of see a path forward. So the Hierophant is now when we commit to that. This is the card of commitment. It can indicate marriage. It's the rules that we live our life by. So it's almost as if like we can find a new spiritual belief at this time. It can be joining a company, because this can be the rules of, you know, an institute of learning, a company, a corporation, something that we join and we follow those rules. But it feels like with the Hermit coming above this, there's been that time of reflection. Been thinking about, what does it mean for me? How does this make me feel? What am I going to get out of this? And am I ready to commit? So somebody may have been trying to figure out if they're ready to commit, and yes, it looks like they are. With the Hierophant coming up beneath the Hermit, this is that card of commitment. It's what we conform to, right? It's the things that we conform to, and all of us have this Hierophant energy in our lives. And I say this often, that when I first started learning the tarot a long time ago, I did not like the Hierophant card, and that's, you know, me as a kind of rebellious Aquarius sun. I didn't like the idea of conforming to anything, but we all need to conform to something. It can be our own religious beliefs, our own spiritual beliefs, you know, the rules that we have. Sometimes this can indicate a couple that gets together and, you know, the house rules or the rules of engagement that they come up with for their relationship. But we commit to that fully when the Hierophant shows up. So let's have a look at how the Oracle cards expand on these messages. The first card that we have coming up for you from the Romance Angels is pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Now, to me, I think the main message that comes up with this card is, what are you not seeing? Four of Cups, right? What are you not seeing? There's a sign here. There's an indication that this is coming in, but this guy doesn't see it. I would say that, you know, if the signs are cautioning, if this is coming up, sorry, it's kind of wobbling around all over the place. The King of Cups, he would see it. He's very intuitive. It's very intuitive energy. This can sometimes be like the spiritual advisor card. The healer. And I'd say if the King of Cups is coming up at the heart, this can also be, sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. If he's coming up there, then you know what the signs are cautioning you about. Sometimes it can be like willful ignorance, that we don't want to see it because we don't want to get hurt. I do think when pay attention to the red flags shows up, it can be sometimes when something's bothering us when we don't say it. Or, you know, we kind of, maybe we have an inkling that we think someone doesn't love me or someone doesn't feel that way about me, but we kind of know that they do, that King of Cups there, but, you know, we still kind of go in that direction because it's our own fears, our own doubts that come up. Maybe that's why the Hermit energy comes up. That's what reflection was needed on. I will say this. If the signs haven't been there before, if you haven't seen what needs to be worked on, they'll be revealed with the Sun. This doesn't have to be a bad card. It doesn't have to say that, you know, this is not the path forward. I mean, yes, the signs are cautioning you and they're red flags, but what does it mean? It may mean that there's problems in a relationship and the other person doesn't feel comfortable saying them. And in the long run, that's not good. But if you guys can open up and say how you feel, that could actually make your relationship stronger, right? We have the Hierophant here. This is a deeper level of commitment. The other thing I'll say with the Hierophant is it can talk about the rules that we're taught, like, you know, from when they're not even our stories, but they become our stories. So what our parents taught us, what our spiritual beliefs, our religious, but like this, if we're with a church or some kind of religious institution, what they teach us, and we take that on board. But it's like, does it have meaning for you? For some of you, this is not work or relationship. This is spiritual stuff. Like, you know, you've gone through this meditative time. We're like, what does my spiritual belief mean to me? But you do have this in the future. So this is like a new cycle, something that offers commitment, and it's long term. This is long term stability. This is the card that we start with to get us to the 10 of Pentacles, which is all the way at the end of the cycle. And that's our legacy, what we build, what we leave behind. That offers us that kind of, not just us, but offers other people that stability as well. Like our family and stuff. It's the card for inheritance, the 10 of Pentacles. From the Whispers of Love, we have number 43, Love Endures. And it says, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So with that, kind of pay attention to the red flags card. Are you like not addressing something? Or are you afraid to bring up something because you think, you know, that it's going to kill the love in the relationship? It won't. Not with the King of Cups sat right there, smack bang in the middle of the relationship. Not with the Sun coming up in the present. But Love Endures also tells you that, you know, have you lost hope? With the Four of Cups. Have you lost hope? Are you stuck? Are you just feeling like this is never going to happen? Like, you know, love's just not going to happen for me. But Love Endures says that love does endure. Like, even if it's not love from that person, your ability to love, your ability to receive love, to find love, to be love, it's always there. It's always there. Love doesn't die away. You know, romantic situations may, but the love itself doesn't.